Hello, I've got various art bits to share with you today. One day last week, I'd arranged to meet up with art YouTuber Sketches and Scrubs down at my local beach. We've not met in person before, but she was down visiting Cornwall and we thought it'd be nice to get together and do a bit of art. Though to be honest, we did far more laughing and talking and eating than actual art. I did a rough sketch of the view in front of us from the bench we were sitting on, and just started loosely filling it in with watercolours. I used my A5 Talons Art Creations sketchbook. And here it is with a bit more watercolour. Meanwhile, Sketches and Scrubs was working on a beautiful vibrant painting in a double A4 sized Etcher sketchbook.
Oh yeah, doing some splatters.
I didn't really remember to take much video, but we had a really great time and then went off to visit another part of my village with some beautiful views. I wasn't really concentrating very well on doing art, but this is a close-up of the picture I did anyway. In general, I've been quite tired lately and haven't felt like doing much art, but I pulled out this little Stillman and Burns sketchbook, and I've done a couple of sketches lately while I've been sitting in bed. I'm usually too scared to try painting people, but I did give these two a go. I used a Pentel brush pen with waterproof ink in it and added some pops of colour with watercolours. Definitely nothing great, but I was glad I'd made the effort. And then I really need to get on with some more pictures for the art collective, which I'm a part of. I've not been able to go in and work there for the last month since my hip replacement, but my paintings have still been selling and they're running low now. I did a soft pastel painting a while back now, very similar to this one, based on a photo which I took of St Michael's Mount. And that had sold, so I fancied a bit of soft pastel painting today and got on with this. I started by sketching a pencil outline and I used a ruler for the horizon line. And I'm using a pad of Canson Mi-Teintes velvet paper, which is quite similar in texture to pastel matte paper by Clairefontaine. It's very textured and grips onto soft pastels really well. I'm using an assortment of soft pastels by Sennelier and Unison. I've got a landscape set by Sennelier of 80 half sticks, and I've also got two sets from Unison which are their grey range. I find the Unison and Sennelier soft pastels quite similar to each other in texture, and I like using them equally. They're both very soft, though not as soft and crumbly as Schmincke soft pastels. I have a few of those, but don't really enjoy using them that much. I've also got a set of Prismacolour NuPastels, which are quite hard soft pastels. I use them later in this picture for more detailed areas. I'm kind of making up how I use soft pastels as I go along. I haven't had any teaching on how to use them. But I think that some people do use the harder pastels, like the NuPastels, first as the base layer. But I like just getting stuck in with the softer pastels straight away. And you can see here that I've been using a cotton rag to blend them out. These softer soft pastels do fill up quite a bit of the tooth of the paper, but not so much that I can't still add details with the harder soft pastels later on. I'm just not all that worried about whether I'm doing it wrong or not, because I really enjoy doing it this way, and for me enjoyment is probably the most important part of me doing any art. That might change further down the road when I have a play around with different techniques and find something that works better, but for now I'm kind of happy with doing it this way. I'm not suggesting that this is the best way to do it though, or that other people should be trying to do it like this. I don't set out with any particular plan for how I complete the picture, other than I'll tend to try and do further back layers first. So like I did the blue of the sky before I did the clouds, which are in front of it. And I try and get most of the sea done before I do these rocks, which I'm drawing now. But other than that, I just kind of move around the picture, working on whichever bit catches my eye and needs something obvious doing to it. And that way the picture gradually gets more refined. I tend to find that I'm never totally happy with the picture at the point I stop doing it, and this one was no exception. But after about an hour, which is how long I spent on this one, I always seem to get a bit bored and just want to stop doing art. So I'm afraid it's not a very technical process, and I rarely want to go back to a picture which I've already started once I've left it for a bit. So like I said before, there's more I could have done to refine it, but I'll leave it there. And here's my rather messy work table. The cotton cloths which I use are just a chopped up old duvet cover, and they come in handy for cleaning off my brushes when I'm painting in acrylics as well, things like that. So I hope you enjoyed seeing these few random arty bits from my last week. It was definitely great fun meeting up with Sketches and Scrubs. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye!